Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having an awesome start to your week so far, rocking out whatever goals, hopes, plans, dreams, ambitions you had, and are currently making it happen in the process. That's actually what I wanted to talk about today. The other couple days ago, we talked about the importance of why we should set goals. And today I wanted to talk about how to set them so that they actually can help us achieve what we want to achieve and they can actually come true and we can start living the life that we actually want. What a beautiful day we have today. That's all I can say. Like, for real, this is awesome. We are blessed over here. I hope you guys are having an awesome start to your week wherever you are. So let's get right into today's topic. Basically, setting goals is, it's nothing more than deciding what you want, right? That's more or less what it is. And that's really the one thing that, it gets people more than anything, right? Quote unquote gets people, is how it seems like this whole thing, right? There's this, it just seems like a whole process, right? We got to get the notepad out, and then we've got to set off a chunk of time, and we've got to actually brainstorm and plan, right? And so, that's where we've got a laundry list of things to do that we can't even see already. We can't even see the end. And now we want to add in another thing, right? Like setting goals and deciding what our future is going to look like. That can seem like a lot, right? And they can seem like an overwhelming task. But that's where I've got some tips that help me sort of, keep it on track, sort of keep it, in line with what I'm trying to do, right? Because as much as the way that it was explained to me was, goal setting. If you don't have goals set, you don't have a plan, right? It's like a ship leaving the harbor without, if you've got goals, if you've got a plan. Think of the ship leaving the harbor. It's got a captain, it's got a destination, it's got a route on how it's going to get there. It's got, people, shoveling the stones in there to make sure that the boat goes if that's what needs to be. But you've got the whole crew, right? I would say 99 times out of 100, that boat is getting to that destination. But if you take that same boat, you don't put a captain to ship it, you don't put a destination where it needs to go, you don't put a route on how to get there, more often, chances are, if it even gets out of the harbor and goes anywhere, it's not going to make its destination because it's got nowhere to go, right? So that's why we set goals, right? That's why we give ourselves something to work for, something to achieve in life, right? Something to, get our juices flowing, a reason to wake up in the morning, right? So that's where I've got some tips to help me. Hopefully they help you too. Hopefully get some value out of this, right? Who knows? Maybe use one or two of them in your own life, help you reach your excellence, right? So number one, this is like I talked about, is goal setting is nothing more than just deciding what you want and writing it down, putting it down on a piece of paper. There's actually, there's a thing involved in writing things down, right? There's a power involved there in transferring things from your head to the paper. And the way that I actually, kind of look at it, quote unquote, is you're kind of doing like a 3-prong approach there. You're thinking about the idea or the goal, right? Then you're writing it down, so you're physically, putting it onto paper, and then you're looking at it again as you're reading it, right? Or as you're writing it. So that to me, right there, is like a 3-prong approach, right? You're kind of instilling it into your brain, into your mind, 3 times over, because of just by putting it down on paper. And I feel like that will make it a little bit, it'll make it more, better, I guess, my bad, than just thinking about it in your head, right? Because, you can't trust your mind. Your thoughts will lead you astray more often than not, and you tend to forget things, right? It's not your fault. We live very busy lives. We're busy, on-the-go people. We don't always have time to remember everything that happened always. So that's one of the reasons why we forget things. It's also another reason why we should write things down, right? So this is an exercise that is amazing in itself, because it's also, when we were kids, right? When you asked yourself as a 6-year-old, right? You knew exactly what you wanted to do when you grew up. You know exactly what you wanted to be. You wanted to be a professional athlete or an astronaut or a lawyer, a doctor, right? No matter what it was, we as kids, we had an answer for you, right? It's just another one of the things that comes along with being a kid. They've always got an answer for you. But that's the thing, right? Eventually, life hit us, right? We needed to work, we needed money, we needed a house, we found a spouse, right? We started with the family, and all of a sudden your goals, hopes, plans, dreams, ambitions take a back seat to real life, right? Quote unquote, we'll call it that. And that's, it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to most of us, right? It's very hard to, I read a stat that there's 28 million registered businesses in the United States, and only the Fortune 500, something like that, the 500 companies that make $1 billion. And so that works out to 0.004% of companies in the United States ever make $1 billion. Right? So that's what you need to, that's where I come from, in the sense that not everybody is going to make it, right? Not everything is going to turn out to be amazing. And every once in a while, yeah, there is things that need to take a back seat. But that doesn't mean that we should not ever think about it again. That doesn't mean that we should never, bring it back to life and make a plan on how to get there and do all that stuff, right? Decide what you want. Right? What do you want out of life? Whether it be more money, health, benefits, wellness, losing weight, bigger house, you want a boat, you want a better car, you want different friends, you want a better spouse, you want, right? The list can go on and on and on and on. Do you want to still be that professional athlete? Right? It's going to take a little bit more extra work, right? But hey, I would say it still can be done. A lawyer, doctor, astronaut, right? That's nothing more than just going back to school, taking some after school or after work classes, right? So it all can be done. We just need to really realize, we just need to figure out what we want, right? What we want in life, and then go from there, regardless of whether or not it can or will or could happen, right? Just decide what you want out of life, and then we'll go from there. How about that? So number 2, so the first thing is that we're deciding what we want. Number 2, we have to make our goals SMART. What that means is it's an acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And so what that is that's just us getting very down to the brass tacks on what we want to achieve and how we want to achieve it. When we're setting SMART goals, specific, like I said, we decide what we want. And then when we decide what we want, okay, we want to make more money. Now we need a specific amount. I want to make $10,000 per month, right? Just bear with me, right? So then, measurable. Now we can measure $10,000 a month, right? Pretty easy, right? You either have it or you don't. Once your bank account hits 10,000, you hit it, right? So it's measurable. You can definitely measure $10,000. You can't measure more money. I mean, you could, but essentially if I give you $1, that's more money and you've won, right? You've reached your goal. Attainable, right? So this is where we start getting down into, this is what actually meshes and goes with our life, right? Is $10,000 a month attainable? Do you have a process in place to make $10,000? Maybe at this current moment it's not attainable, and that's too far out of your reach, that we don't want to set goals that are too far out of our reach, because then we have a hard time reaching them. And when we have a hard time reaching them, we tend to get down on ourselves. And actually, side note, I love this quote that I just read before we got on here, is that we care more about ourselves than anybody else, but we care about everybody else's opinion more than ourselves, right? So that's where I love that, in the sense that, to us, we think that we can't have $10,000 because other people say that it's hard, right? We don't ever think to ourselves, hey, maybe I can make that happen. How do I do that? And then relevant, right? Is $10,000 more in your life per month relevant to what you want to achieve in your life? Is it, money can buy a lot of things, but money can't be the reason that you do things, right? What do you want to do with the money? It'll give you, more time freedom. It'll help you plan better vacations. It'll help you, take time off of work and not really have to worry, right? So it's what the money does for you that you need to really realize, is this relevant in my life? And then time bound. You need to set a specific date. I want to make $10,000 per month, right? By, what are we, July? By January 1st, 2023, right? That is, that's our SMART goal right there. Specific, $10,000. Measurable, we can measure whether or not we have $10,000. Attainable, $10,000 a month is attainable. $100,000 a month maybe isn't attainable, right? $1 million a month, right? That's where we start getting into, you really need a system behind that. Relevant, what's the money going to do for you in your life? And then time bound, January 1st, 2023, that's our goal where we're getting. So you see how that's smart, right? It's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. You can see the whole process in there, right? There's a whole thing, and it actually makes it better for you to look at it, as opposed to, like I said, if you just want to make more money, I could hand you $1 right now and then you've made more money. Congratulations. I don't know what that does to better your life, but you've made more money. You know what I mean? And so that's where you need to get specific down to the brass tacks of your goals. Number 3, create the steps. So where we are right now, we've decided what we want, right? We've made a SMART goal on how to attain it. Now we just need to create the steps, right? We've got our destination. We've got our goal that we're looking to get there, and now we need to create the steps. And this is why I put this one third, because it's easier to create steps to something that you can see, right? That you've decided that that's what you want. It's easier to create steps, to create a plan on how to get $10,000 a month, on how to lose 35 pounds, on how to, get that nice dream house on Lakeshore Boulevard that you're looking to attain, right? So these are all things these are all the destinations, and then when we have the destination in mind, we can create our steps, we can create our plan. Winston Churchill said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So that's where we need to really understand that when we are making our goals, when we're deciding what we want, that's a great place to start, because that's right at the end. And then when we know the end, we know exactly how we need to go about, we can make the steps on how to get there, right? So that's really what it's all about, right? We need to figure out what we want, make it smart, then create a plan on how to get there. Because, right, a dream without a plan is just a dream. Somebody said that, I can't remember, Denzel Washington or Martin Luther King, somebody like that. Yeah, those are two different people, I get it. Next one, what I use essential oils in this particular moment. And the ones that I use a blend here called Adaptive. And Adaptive is a great blend for promoting focus and concentration. And when you're trying to decide what you want in life, right, you need a lot of focus and a certain amount of concentration, because it can get really easy to get sidetracked and to get off track. And then not only that, but there's so many other things that need to happen in your life, right? Dishes, cooking, cleaning, laundry, right? Then there's all the other obligations that you have to have in your life that need to be created, that need to be put into your plan, right? They all need to come together, because it's all your life's work. Right? That's where you get a little bit of oil, rub it on your neck or something, on your pulse points, make it nice, create that calming and relaxing aroma that helps promote that focus and concentration so that you can really rock it out. My next blend here that I use is Citrus Twist. It's a new blend actually that came out last year, maybe the year before. But it's a blend that promotes happiness, right? Uplifting, invigorating thoughts and senses. And that's really why I love using that one in particular, because, right, when we're talking about our life's goals, our life's dreams, a plan for our life, now I don't have any scientific information or facts behind this claim that I'm about to make. But I would say, from my certain expertise, that if you think about your life in the future in a bad mood, chances are you're going to feel a lot worse about the future than if you start in a good mood, right? And if you start in a great mood and you're promoting those happy thoughts and you're helping to, to really feel good about yourself. Like I said, I don't have any scientific evidence behind that, but I feel like if we're looking into the future and we're deciding what we want out of our lives, we want to be in a happy, uplifted mood as opposed to a miserable, depressed mood. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong. And if I am, definitely come back here, tell me that being miserable made your life so much better, and I would love to hear the story behind that. The last thing I got here is consider life coaching, right? Life is hard, and as we just realized it, right, we're trying to get the most out of our lives while simultaneously still trying to figure out the list of things that we've got to do so long that we can't even see the end of the list. And that's where somebody like me comes in, right? Somebody that can help to sort of, guide your thoughts and really understand where you're coming from and to help, create that vision, that plan, right? So book a free consultation today. If that's something that you're interested in, asking for help is not a terrible thing to do. In fact, in my opinion, asking for help is what makes you a stronger person. It's one of the toughest things that you have to do in life. It's admitting that you don't know what you don't know and you need to ask for help. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I had a lot of fun making it. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils, how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, booking a free consultation with a life coach, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. We'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better week ahead. And I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.